The next phase that we're going to do today in this program is about signing some legislation. And we've got several great legislators that help make that happen in terms of sponsoring that legislation. It's a whole category of different bills. We passed some previously. I'm signing some today to put them into law. And in fact, what their primary focus is to allow people that had a background in the military to easily transfer those skills to the civilian sector. Because quite often in a number of professions, such as EMTs, other fields, firefighters, they get trained in the military, and then potentially in the old system they'd have to come back and start over again to get in the civilian system. To be open, that was not dumb nor right. That was dumb and not right, excuse me. And so what we're really doing with this legislation is creating that environment where we'll get much better transferability of those skills to facilitate them coming back and to get those professions back home. So that's what this legislation is all about. And with that, I'd ask our legislators to come on up and we'll go over to the bill signing table. This one's, yeah. And to kick things off, I'm going to turn the mic over to Representative Gail Haynes, who was the sponsor of one of these great bills.
Thank you very much, Governor Snyder, for having me here today. And thank you to all of the veterans for your service, and also to today's sponsors for making this possible. The legislation that is being signed today will allow a military health care specialist to use the education and experience that he or she obtained through military service toward a civilian emergency medical technician license. This is one of the many bills that my colleagues and I have been working on to make sure that veterans are fully recognized for their service to our country. Upon return, veterans should not have to repeat education to qualify for jobs that they have already been highly trained for. We will continue here in Michigan to break down employment barriers and assure that these talented individuals are welcome in Michigan. And our goal is to make Michigan the veteran-friendly state. So again, thank you, Governor, for your support, and thank you again to the military men and women who are here with us today. And at this point, I'd like to introduce my colleague, State Representative George Duraney.
Thank you, Gail. It's an absolute honor for me to be here today with the governor today to sign this legislation into law. I was pleased to sponsor House Bill number 4754, which allows veterans to use their military experience in heating, cooling, and refrigeration when furthering their careers after service. But today is a little bit more personal for me. You see, today is my first bill signed into law. So, thank you. And I'm also the son of an Army veteran who served during World War II. Now, I never took the opportunity to thank my dad for his service and his sacrifice. He's been gone for years, but I know he's with me today as I hold his Good Conduct Medal in my hand. So I thank him with this bill, and I know he would be proud that my first law will help veterans. He is proud also today that we are sending a clear message that the people of Michigan are truly grateful for their service. And I'm pleased to have an outstanding veteran with me here today. As a U.S. Army veteran, Gary Tanner works tirelessly to help provide the best possible care for Michigan veterans and their families. His dedication has certainly improved the quality of life for veterans across the state. Thank you, Gary. So it's been an honor today to be a part of this celebration of signing of these bills that will help support the brave men and women of our state. So I thank you, and I thank you, Governor, for the opportunity to thank my dad.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today? My name is Bob Kozowski, and it is my honor to be here today. You know, similar to George, my family has a deep history in the military. In fact, my grandfather was killed in World War II on a ship, so this really means a lot to me. I would like to thank several people. First off, I'd like to thank the Boilermakers 1609, the local, for helping me research a lot of this bill. You know, and I also like to thank the governor. I think the governor's vision for this is awesome. He's always on the forefront of working with veterans, and I applaud him for that. You know, our committee, we're all on the Military and Veteran Committee. Jim Stamas is our chair. I can tell you, when there's a red light and a green light how we vote, it is always a green light for veterans, and I applaud that. You know, I like to quote the 26th President of the United States, who argued that no other group of citizens deserve greater honor, respect, and gratitude than the nation's veterans. President Theodore Roosevelt once said, "A man who's good enough to shed his blood for his country is good enough to be given a square deal afterwards." You know, I'd like to take that one step further. I think it should be more than a square deal, and I think with the governor's lead, we're on our way. Thank you, and God bless.
Well, thank you for those wonderful talents. Let's sign the bill. Thank you. And since we're at Masco, I have a much nicer desk and chair than I normally would have to sign a bill. So. Well, congratulations.
Right.
Good work.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you,
George, thank you for being here. Thank you. You want to grab hold, Gail?
Yeah.